So what is addiction? Addiction is a complex condition, a brain disorder that is manifested by compulsive substance use, despite its harmful consequences. But what does it really mean to be addicted? According to the National Institute on Drug Abuse, addiction is characterized by an inability to stop using a substance, whether it's alcohol, drugs, or even behaviors like gambling, gaming, shopping, and even work. It's a strong physical or physiological need or urge to do something or use something. It is a dependence on a substance or activity, even if you know that it causes you harm. It can impact your daily life, but it's not just the substance that shapes addiction, but it's also your environment, genetics, and your mental health. It's when a person indulges excessively in an addictive substance, it alters their brain chemistry. Neurotransmitters like those of dopamine release in response to the substance create feelings of pleasure. Over time, the brain craves more to achieve the same high. Be it the use of the opium poppy in early Mesopotamian societies, the trade of cannabis in China and the Middle East, or even the famous wines of the Mediterranean, addiction has been common throughout history, no matter the drug or how it was used. Plinius the Elder, a famous ancient Roman author, in his encyclopedia Natural History, described a few cases of alcoholism from almost 2,000 years ago, saying that a great part of mankind are of the opinion that there is nothing else in life worth living for except alcohol. He also described alcoholics and drug abusers as driven to a frenzy and the commission of 1,000 crimes, and also being characterized with tremulous hands that are unable to hold anything, drooping eyelids, and an obliviousness to everything. Today, these symptoms have not changed and might have only gotten worse with how accessible alcohol and other drugs are to people in the modern age. In the US, 50 million people over 12 years of age admitted to having battled with a substance in 2022. Here are a few statistics to put this into perspective. That is saying that 1 out of 6 American adults has theoretically had issues with addiction and alcoholism. This just gets worse with teenagers aged 12 to 17. One of the most surprising things to me is the amount of my peers I see smoking, drinking, and trading drugs at school every day. Unfortunately, this gets even worse in other parts of the country. North Carolina has a reputation as one of the friendliest and most beautiful states in the country. However, like many other places, the Tar Heel state is experiencing an increase in substance abuse. There also seems to be a trend among underage drinkers. In 2018, there were 421 alcohol-impaired driving fatalities in North Carolina. Unfortunately, of these fatalities, 38 involved drivers were under the age of 21. In 2019, 49% of all high school drinkers engaged in binge drinking in the last 30 days. This disturbing trend stems from high schoolers asking older friends or relatives to buy them alcohol. As a result, state and local law enforcement agencies are becoming more stringent on people buying alcohol and other drugs. But how exactly do we prevent this phenomenon? And how do we spot its signs early on? To look into this, I interviewed a few professionals to get their insights. So, I'll introduce myself. I'm Nish. I'm a junior at Greenhope High School, and I'm doing a short documentary on drug addiction. And if you could introduce yourself.
My name is Justin. I work with Downtown Cary Park as an activity host.
Okay, thank you. So in your experience and in your life, is drug addiction a prevalent topic mostly?
It's not for me. I grew up with the DARE program, and while the DARE program definitely has its problems, it seriously worked on me.
Yes, what are some early signs, if you could see early signs of drug addiction?
My guess for an early sign of drug addiction would just be a constant prevalence, an inability to act without whatever the addictive substance may be.
That makes sense. Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Sure. My name is Amy Altenbach, and I just moved to Cary from Chicago, and I am a nurse.
Oh, so I was wondering, how often do you encounter drug addiction and how prevalent is it in your life?
Good question. I encounter it a lot through work and a little bit through, do you consider alcohol as
Yeah.
well? Then I encounter it every day through family members.
Thank you. And what do you say are some like early signs of drug addiction? Something to look out for.
I would say starting really young, like starting to drink young
Yeah.
or experiment young.
Yeah. Okay. That makes a lot. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
In your life, in your experiences, would you say drug addiction is a prevalent topic?
Yeah, I mean my uncle from my dad's side, he definitely he suffered greatly from it, and you can definitely see how it can sever a family and cause bad ripples.
So, in your experience, what are some early signs of drug addiction?
I never saw it firsthand, but hearing it from down the grapevine from my family, I would say just like general stagnation and isolation from those around you, as I've noticed. Yeah.
Okay, that's all. Thank
Alright,
you.
thanks.
Thank you. Have.
I'm Jenna.
I'm back.
And what do you guys do for?
For work?
Yeah.
Baristas.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So, in your experience, would you say drug addiction is a prevalent topic in your life?
No.
No?
Yeah, in the communities
Yeah.
that I'm with, yeah.
Yeah. I think so. And if you could guess, what are some like early signs of addiction?
Definitely denial.
Yeah.
When you try to help somebody, when
Yeah,
you reach
when you-
out and they just deny it.
Yeah. when you-
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all I.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. And,
I'm Michael. I work here at the Bark Bar.
oh, nice. So, would you say drug addiction or alcoholism is prevalent in your life?
Would I say it's prevalent in my life?
Yeah.
No,
No.
no, not at all. No,
And-
I had a father who's an alcoholic, so yeah, I rarely drink. And I have a brother who's an alcoholic, and that keeps me away from things.
And would you say, what would you say are the early signs of drug addiction or alcoholism?
What are the what?
The early signs.
The early signs
Yeah.
of drug addiction? I'm not sure. Really being dependent on something, being recluse, backing away from people, not being social. Yeah, I think those are early signs. You know,
Yeah.
stealing maybe, money to pay for drugs or alcohol.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense. Okay. Thank you.
That's it.
Thank you so.
Yep, Patrick McMillan.
And what do you do for?
For Terry, I'm the horticulturist.
I was wondering, in your life, in your experiences, has drug addiction or alcoholism been like a big prevalent topic for you?
Around me, yeah, for sure. Family members.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in your experience, would you, what are some early signs of drug addiction?
Early signs
Yeah.
of drug addiction. Avoiding typical friends and family, keeping unusual hours, sleeping too late, sleeping all the time, or up all the time, and loss of academic performance, loss of interest in sports, things like that.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, thank you so much.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Yeah, my name is Ted Urbaniak. I'm an IT associate for the town of Cary.
Right. So I wanted to ask, in your life, is drug addiction a prevalent topic, or do you see it often?
Do I see it often personally? No. Do I see it in the news? Yes.
So you would say it's a big topic in today's society.
Absolutely, yes.
And if you could guess, what are some early signs of drug addiction?
Early signs of drug addiction, I would say if somebody close to you was on point and never missing appointments and always there for you, and then all of a sudden if you notice them slipping, not caring, not showing up, that type of thing, I would
that
say
makes
is a
sense.
red flag.
So
Yep.
basic withdrawal from society.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah, no problems.
Understanding addiction is the first step towards healing. Together, we can reduce stigma and promote compassion, leading to a more informed and supportive stronghold for those affected by addiction. You may or may not know that you're addicted. Symptoms of addiction include repeating a behavior even though it seems to be interfering with your life, stealing or selling things to provide money for the addictive behavior, dangerous or risky behaviors, losing interest in things important to you, being excessively angry, violent, moody, or depressed, noticing changes in eating habits, sleeping habits, or weight, or even feeling sick, nauseous, and shaky. To further look into this phenomenon, I interviewed a few doctors and health professionals. These conversations can be accessed on my YouTube channel. Addiction doesn't only affect the individual, it has wide-ranging repercussions on families, communities, and societies as a whole. The economic impact of addictions is also staggering, with costs related to healthcare, crime, and lost productivity. Addiction is a treatable, chronic medical disease involving complex interactions among brain circuits, genetics, the environment, and the individual's life experience. But there is hope. Recovery is possible. Treatment may include therapy, medications, and support. Each journey is unique, but many find their way back to a fulfilling life. Here are some ways that you can get help for yourself or for a loved one.